Hello chaps and chappies. Here we are at the site of my future wheat farm. It looks quite small at the moment, but it will be quite functional. You'll see once it's getting close to complete how it's going to work. There will be some redstone involved. I've kind of worked it out already what I'm looking to do with the design on this one, and I'll be able to show you exactly how it works once it's complete. It won't be a traditional wheat farm, kind of like there's one over here. Yeah, so it won't be a traditional wheat farm like that. It'll be something a bit more technical, and it won't involve lots and lots of replanting and pistons and all sorts, and well, you'll see come time. So yeah, the only thing I've done so far was dig out my 11 by 11 block for the building where it's going to be. All of these buildings in this little board that I've created, by the way, are 11 by 11. So 11 by 11, 11 by 11, except for that big store room there on the other side, which is obviously a double length one. But here we are, we've marked out an 11 by 11 hole to get rid of the top level of water, because this is obviously a snow biome with lakes, and it always snows here. Basically just gravelled it in so that we've got gravel all the way down to solid rock, because we'll be putting the redstone that we're going to use underneath the building. Okay, so I will be back once I've done more on this. Okay, and there we have a dugout hole. Inside there is a 9 by 9 square. I think that will be enough space for what we're going to be using it for, but I'm going to go set up some tests just now, just to make sure that we have enough space. If not, I'll just dig out a little more. There's plenty of space there to move around in anyway, so yep, onwards. Okay, so we've set up the next stage of the let's call it a machine or device now, shall we? I've arranged everything that we're going to need at this point on our hotbar here. So we have one redstone torch, one hole, one piston, 2 buckets of water, 2 buttons, and some torches. And we're going to place these various items like so. This will not be the final look of this thing, it will look much better. I'm just putting these items into place now to make sure that they all work correctly, and then it will be all prettied up later. Okay, let's put things where they need to be going. So the piston needs to be going there. That's right. For the time being, the redstone torch will go there. Normal torch will go there. Bucket of water will go there. And just down here, another bucket of water. Actually, that should go there. And another torch. The reason for the torches is just to keep that one is obviously keeping the piston up to hold that water in place. The other two are because we're in a snow biome, this water will freeze and become ice, which we do not want. So we put torches here to make sure that the heat from the torch keeps the water as water. That's the theory anyway. We have our dirt block here, which is now being moisturized by that piece of water. So we can now do that, and that is where our wheat will be getting placed. Okay, so I've hoed a piece of ground there. And now we just need to put our buttons in place. So we'll put this here like this for now, and then one button will be going here and one button will be going here. And that is basically it for now. What we'll do now is move on to the bottom layer and get everything in place down there, and then we shall make sure that everything works. Stay tuned. And we are redstoned up. So we have lots and lots and lots of redstone all down here. Pistons, redstone, repeaters, torches, buttons, and most importantly, dispensers. So I shall now show you quickly how this thing works, and then we will head down to a test setup I've got so you can more clearly see the workings of it. So in the left side goes seeds, in the right side goes bone meal. We stand in this location here, and you have to make sure that there's no seeds or bone meal in your entire inventory, and that you have one space open on your hotbar. So you select that space, you look at the soil, and then you literally just hold down the right mouse button. So you press this button to start, and then it begins. And there we have a fully automatic, well, I say fully automatic, automatic in that you still only have to hold one button and just wait here until it's all farmed. Wheat farm. The water flow there pushes the items off that soil block underneath me and along the ice to a collection point behind me, which you'll see in a second. And when you're done harvesting, then you press this button here, and that stops the machine. It pushes all the items off and stops the water flow. Just look around here, and there's all your items. Easy peasy. So this is a really easy way to collect lots and lots of wheat, and it doesn't take up masses and masses amounts of space. So yeah, it works quite well. What we'll do is we'll head down into the mine area where I set up my first working prototype of this, and it's also a lot easier to see how it works down that way. So we'll try and explain it to you. Okay, here we go. So in this little room here, we have the test setup I made to test this thing out before I built it up there. So here's your spot that you stand on, and there's your soil block, same idea. Here's your dispenser to the left and your dispenser to the right. So here's the button for starting it here. This is a clock, so once you activate this redstone, it'll just travel all the way around the clock repeatedly over and over and over and over and over. And then each time a pulse gets to here, it'll travel along this line into these repeaters here. This is just a small delay here to allow you time to basically turn around from there and press the button and then get ready to start planting. Once it gets to this point, the redstone wire goes to this dispenser and it fires a seed out into your empty space in your hotbar, which will be here. It then goes along and it has two repeaters and a block to this dispenser, which has the bone meal. It doesn't have any bone meal in it, but the bone meal will go in there so that you get your seeds first, small delay, and then your bone meal. At the same time as you're getting your bone meal, the redstone wire is travelling along here to another delay and to another soil block, and this is a piston holding in the water source. So basically it's all timed up to work so that as you, well, I'll show you down on this one as well. So we've got some seeds in there. We've only got one bit of bone meal, but that will do just to test it. So you go here, I'm just going to turn down those mobs because they are loud. There we go. So you go here, you press your starting button, aim at it, hold the button, water, just like so. And if I had more bone meal, it would repeat over and over, just like that. I've not built a stop mechanism into this one, so it would just keep going unless I broke that piece of wire there. Okay, so that's how it basically works. It's all pretty well timed. Difficult to explain, but that's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 30. Yep, that's 30 ticks, that clock, so every 30 ticks it would pulse along this wire. You don't really need this delay if you're standing right beside your start button, so it's up to you whether you have that or not. This delay here is 4, 1 and 4, so that's 9 ticks for that. And then the delay for the water coming out is 4, 8, 12 and a redstone torch 13. So 9 and 13. That's the way this demo one's set up down here anyway. Let me get back up top and I will show you those same elements in the one upstairs. Okay, so here we are back upstairs. So you'll see the same elements here in play. So first of all, this is your standing point, this is your soil block, and this is your seeds repeater, dispenser rather, and your bone meal dispenser there. So if we head down here, the start button there attaches to this wire, which comes all the way down here, all the way down here, and into here. This basically is on top of a piston which will push that block into the middle there. So that will enable the clock to have a continuous cycle. If that block wasn't there, then the clock wouldn't work. It would just stop when it gets to this empty point here. So that's what this line does. The rest of that line comes down here and it starts the clock off. So just like last time, here's your roundabout clock all the way around here. It's different timings on this one, just the way it's worked out, but you can use the demo one downstairs for the timings which work well down there. Yeah, so that goes to the clock there. So that clock then pulses out at this point here. So it points out here and it goes up this redstone tower. So 1 torch, 2, 3. Basically when this is active, then that torch goes off, so that one goes on, that one goes off, and that one goes on. That one is directly below the dispenser on the left, which dispenses the seeds. Same as downstairs, you then have a delay here for the bone meal, and again that goes to a redstone tower. Oh, no, hold on. There we go. So that goes to a redstone tower which starts there with that torch, and then there's one above it, and then another one above it, and another one above it. Same idea as the other one. So yeah, that's that line. So that basically starts the clock and activates both of the dispensers. The other part of that line is over here with this redstone torch here. Things are quite cramped in here, as you can see. Right, so that redstone torch fires up another redstone tower here, and it ends up in this block here, which activates this repeater, this redstone dust, and this repeater. And that block there is where our piston is. Well, there's the red torch. You can just see the redstone torch there below it. So when that redstone torch goes out, the piston withdraws and it lets the water flow through, and the water is up here. So the piston withdraws, water flows down, harvests the wheat, and it takes it down this ice tunnel underneath where we stand, and it will end up here. We will make a proper area for collecting these shortly. So that is the button on the left. The button on the right has two purposes. One, to collect the wheat when it gets stuck on top of that block, and two, to stop the clock from running. So that line comes from there, down here, 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 and it goes to the other side of where that one is, which started the clock. So that again is a piston below that line there, so that pushes that piston, which then pushes that block back over there, and it stops the clock from working. So that's what that does. The other part of this goes to this dispenser, piston, sorry, which pushes this block into place here. Now we have a redstone torch and a repeater, so that will activate that block, which activates that repeater, which activates this redstone wire here, and opens up again the water here to allow it to flow through. This redstone wire comes down here through this repeater chain, which is the delay for how long the water stays open, so to flood all the items out of the area. Again to the piston, which pushes that block back, and it stops the water from being open. So it stops the clock, and it opens the water and stops the water in order to get all the items out. So yeah, that's pretty much the explanation for that. What I'm going to do now is basically make a shell around this, which looks a bit nicer. And yeah, we'll be back once we've done that. And several minutes later, you can now see the completed structure in the distance there in the corner. Took a wee while to do, not too long, just mainly wanted to decide what decorative things I wanted to do to it. Obviously I've put the sandstone cap on top of it like I have with all the other buildings. Let's go down and take a closer look, and we'll give it another final try. Okay, so here we go. I used the jungle tree wood for the outsides because it's not a type of wood or texture I've used in any of the buildings so far here. So yeah, I tried to make each kind of building look a little bit different. Used stairs and half slabs for this kind of decorative outside section on it, and then obviously, like I said before, the sandstone on top. Here's our small collection area, which you'll see in effect in a moment, and here's the frontage. This will probably be made slightly even better yet once 1.3 comes out and it has the coloured wood stairs and coloured wood slabs. I'm planning to tie it in all a little bit better together yet, but it looks pretty nice, I think. So in we go. Here we are. So I've stocked up the seeds into this one, and I've stocked up a bunch of bone meal into this one, and well, yeah, let's give it a test run. Press the button, hold right mouse button, and as you can see, it's working absolutely perfectly. The items do get stuck on top of the block, as we said before, but that's why we hooked up the button on the right, so that we can shove them off once we're done harvesting. So, I think we're done there, so we'll just stop that for the second. That flows off all the water on the right hand side there. And if we head outside, there's our items that we've just harvested. Easy. All working pretty great as well. Very happy with it. Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe if you like the videos. Please put some likes on the videos as well if you like them, obviously. And any comments or suggestions as to what else you'd like to see, or anything else, or any tips. Yeah. Ciao for now.